Have you seen the headlines? iPhone killer, smartphone revolution, calls to Mars.
Right, right.
It's wild. Some people think it's a done deal while others are like, no way.
Right.
So let's try to figure this out. What's real and what's not. We've got our expert here. So what's the real story with this Tesla phone?
Okay, so first things first, Tesla hasn't actually said anything officially about this phone. No launch date, no specs, no, hey, this thing is real.
Okay, so it's all just rumors and guesses right now, but that doesn't mean we can't have some fun with it right now.
For sure. The rumors themselves are pretty wild. Some are just crazy, like mind control with Neuralink. But some, like the Starlink integration, seem a bit more realistic.
Having satellite internet anywhere would be pretty awesome. Like, imagine you're in the middle of nowhere, completely off the grid, and you can still post that selfie on social media.
Right. And that's what makes this interesting. Tesla already works with SpaceX, so putting Starlink in a phone isn't that crazy.
But wouldn't that be really hard to do? Like, fitting a satellite dish in your pocket?
Definitely. I mean, Starlink integration is possible, but there are some big challenges. Battery life, the antenna, heat, it's a lot to figure out. And then, how would it work with regular cell networks and 5G? Would it switch smoothly, or would it be kind of a mess?
Good points, yeah. It's easy to get caught up in the hype and forget about the practical stuff. So let's say they do figure out the satellite internet. What about these other crazy features? Solar charging, mind control, calling aliens. Is this science fiction, or are we actually getting close to this stuff?
Well, let's start with solar charging. Tesla's big on solar, so it makes sense that they'd want to put it in a phone.
Yeah.
But the thing is, right now, solar tech just isn't powerful enough to fully charge a smartphone. They use a lot of energy.
So maybe a little extra battery if you're out in the sun, and not a full charge. Okay, what about mind control? Is Neuralink actually ready for a phone?
Honestly, I think that's a long shot. Neuralink is still brand new, and yeah, controlling your phone with your mind sounds cool, but the technology just isn't there yet. Even simple things like texting would need super precise brain-computer stuff. And that's years, maybe even decades away.
So maybe don't throw away your keyboard just yet. Okay, Starlink. Solar charging, mind control, check. What about the biggest rumor, the one everyone's talking about calling Mars? Seriously.
Yeah, that's pure speculation. There's no way a smartphone could talk to Mars missions right now. We're talking huge distances, complex signals, technology that doesn't even exist.
So it sounds like someone got a little carried away with the Elon Musk hype. But even if we ignore the craziest rumors, why would Tesla even want to make a phone?
That's a great question. And it takes us to the core of Tesla's strategy. They're not just a car company anymore, they're building a whole ecosystem. And a smartphone could be the thing that connects it all.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Let's talk more about that in part 2 of our deep dive.
Okay, so here's where it gets really interesting. Tesla has already shaken up the car industry in the energy world.
Yeah.
Now imagine them doing that with smartphones.
It's like they're playing this big game of tech chess, and we're just trying to keep up.
Exactly. And a smartphone could be a really smart move. Think about it. They have electric cars, solar panels, batteries, even space stuff with SpaceX. A phone could be the thing that connects all of it.
So you're saying the Tesla phone wouldn't just be another phone, it would be like a key to this whole Tesla world.
Exactly. Imagine walking out of your Tesla and your phone just takes over. It connects to your home, adjusts the thermostat, plays your music, even preheats the oven for dinner.
Wow, okay, that does sound amazing, having everything connected like that from one device. But wouldn't that take a ton of work? Like syncing all that software and hardware?
Definitely. It's complicated, for sure. But Tesla is good at that kind of stuff. They've already done it with their cars. The software updates, the battery management, the data they collect. A smartphone would be another challenge, but I think they could handle it.
Okay, I'm starting to get it. But let's not forget, the smartphone world is tough. It's like Apple and Samsung are the kings. Can Tesla really compete with them?
That's the big question. It's a real David and Goliath situation.
Yeah.
But Tesla has something special. Their brand. They have this image of being innovative and different, even rebellious.
Yeah, it's like they've tapped into something. People want to be part of something new, something that changes things.
Right, and that brand loyalty could give them a chance. People who already have a Tesla car or solar panels might switch to a Tesla phone, especially if it connects seamlessly with all their other Tesla stuff.
It's like creating their own little world, but one that people actually want to join. Okay, so we've got the ecosystem, the brand loyalty, but what about the phone itself? What would make it different from all the other phones out there?
Well, that's where those rumors come back in. Even if some of them are crazy, they show us what a Tesla phone might focus on. Always being connected, cutting-edge technology, and being good for the environment.
Okay, so maybe no calls to Mars just yet. But maybe we can hope for a phone that works everywhere, uses clean energy, and fits perfectly into our lives.
Exactly. And that vision, even if it's not clear yet, is what makes the Tesla phone so exciting. It's
Yeah.
not just another gadget, it's like a peek into the future.
But hold on, before we get too carried away with the future stuff, there's a big thing we haven't talked about yet: money.
Oh, you're right. Making a smartphone is super expensive. We're talking billions of dollars, and there's no guarantee it will succeed.
Yeah, a lot of companies have tried to compete with the big phone makers and failed. Is Tesla really willing to take that risk, especially with all their other projects?
That's the big question. What is Tesla really trying to do here? Do they really want to change the smartphone world, or is there something else going on? Let's
Yeah.
talk more about that in part 3 of our deep dive.
All right, so we've talked about the strategy, all the hype, even like the big picture stuff, but let's get real for a second. If this phone actually comes out, what's it going to be like to use?
That's the most important thing, right? Like,
Mm.
all the speculation doesn't matter if the phone itself is a pain to use.
Exactly. Because no matter how cool the tech is, if it's like glitchy or hard to use, people are just going to give up on it.
Totally. User experience is everything.
Yeah?
And Tesla has a chance to do something really different here.
Okay, I'm listening. What kind of user experience should they go for?
I think they need to focus on keeping it simple and making everything work together smoothly. People are already juggling a million devices and apps. A Tesla phone shouldn't add to that. It should make things easier.
So, no bloatware, no useless features, just a clean design that's easy to use.
Right, and that integration thing is huge. Imagine a phone that just works with your other Tesla stuff. You get in your car, the phone connects to the screen, pulls up your maps, your music even sets the temperature how you like it.
Okay. Yeah, that does sound pretty amazing, like a personal assistant for your whole life. But what about people who don't have Teslas already? Would they even want this phone?
That's a good point, and it's something Tesla needs to think about. They can't just focus on the Tesla fans. They need a phone that anyone would want to use.
So maybe different versions of the phone, like a basic model and then a fancy one for the Tesla people.
That's one way to do it. Or maybe they make sure the phone works with other devices and apps too.
That would definitely make it more appealing. But there's another thing that's really important: privacy. Tesla gets a lot of data from its cars. How do we know they won't spy on us with the phone?
That's a valid concern. They need to be upfront about what data they're collecting and how they're using it. And they need to show people that they're protecting our privacy.
Yeah, people are really worried about their data these days. Okay, so we've got simplicity, integration, privacy. What about just being cool? Can a Tesla phone actually be like a cool phone?
I think it totally can. Tesla makes things that feel futuristic and exciting. Imagine a phone with a super sleek design, cool materials, maybe even features we haven't seen before.
Yeah, something that makes you feel like you're holding the future. And don't forget about the software. Tesla loves to put in little surprises and hidden features. I bet they'd do the same thing with the phone.
Right. Little things that make you happy when you use it. Because a phone shouldn't just be a tool, it should be something you enjoy using.
Well said. So as we wrap up this deep dive into the Tesla phone, what's the big takeaway? What should people be looking out for as this story develops?
I think the most important thing is to stay open-minded. We're just at the beginning of this. There's so much we don't know. There are all these rumors and guesses, but we won't know what the Tesla phone is really like until it's actually here.
And who knows, maybe Elon Musk will announce something huge tomorrow and change everything. But even if that happens, the things we've talked about today are still important: technology, user experience, the future of how we connect.
Absolutely. This isn't just about a phone. It's about the kind of future we want. A future where technology makes our lives better and more connected.
Well said. That wraps up our deep dive into the Tesla phone. Thanks for joining us on this journey into the world of what ifs and maybes. Until next time, stay curious and keep listening to the deep dive.